I think I hear you, bro. Can you hear us though?
Yeah, I can hear you guys now.
There we go. Hey, thanks for actually showing up, man. We got the great Jason Elrod on the show right now.
Damn, your setup looking sick.
Yeah, you were talking about you had a podcast studio to set up for a friend or something on the last episode of Kill Tony that you were on. I guess this is it, huh?
Yeah, this is half of it. The other half is across the table there. But yeah, I started podcasting back during COVID and quit for a while. And oddly enough, I was like, before we went to Austin, I was like, if we get pulled out of the fucking bucket, I need to have content. So I need to start fucking podcasting again and talking to people that I think are doing interesting stuff.
Well, hey, we definitely know you're very, very, very busy. So thanks for coming on our show. You got into how busy you were on the last episode, 675 of Kill Tony.
Well, yeah, I'm not that busy. It was a very
Tony was being a dick there. I was just joking. Tony was being a total dick. Like he's the only one busy. I got Madison Square Garden shows. No one's busy but me. You know what I mean?
I gotta shave my whole asshole every day. That's hard to do.
Yeah, it sounds gay, is what I was gonna say. You heard me get cut off mid speech like twice during that interview, because I know how he gets if you talk over him. So I'm like, all right, I'll shut the fuck up and let him do his thing. Let him talk.
It's really like talking to a tiny emperor. Yeah.
Yeah. Both times doing a minute up there I wasn't that nervous. It didn't, the nerves don't get racked until he starts addressing you like directly and talking to you. And that's when my brain starts going a fucking mile a minute. We can cuss on here, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Say whatever you want, but I would be absolutely stuttering and shaking if I was on Kill Tony. I really would be probably.
It was crazy both times, actually. I think I was on the way driving back to Cincinnati from Austin when I tagged Jonathan in one of your guys' Facebook.
Oh yeah,
posts
appreciate
about
that,
this
man.
podcast.
Yeah, this guy's a good friend. We had his buddy Jonathan Hamill on the show not too long ago. He had a good conversation with us.
Yeah.
And during that episode, they were saying how you were the funnier friend. They were trying to split you guys up.
Yeah, I mean, John took a risk on that joke, and it's hit before, but it just wasn't quite what the room wanted that night.
You were really nice to him, though. You're like, I've seen him kill before.
Yeah, you're a good bud. You're a good bud.
I try to do my damnedest, you know.
And Tony really seemed to take a liking to you. Like he had some really good advice for you after your set, and he gave you a big joke book on your first time up there. Like he really seemed to like you.
I mean, I fucking hope so, because I've rewatching the interview. The second one was kind of traumatic, to be honest with you, because I could see myself getting visibly annoyed, flustered, and pissed off as he.
Yeah, I could sense it too.
Ranting about the shower thing.
Yeah, you had a couple pauses, and I was like, "This guy's fuming. This guy's fuming."
Dude,
right
I
here.
skipped shower. I'll say it on the air. It's all good, bro.
I'll be real though. Like nobody has talked to me like that in a long time, and without me reacting.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it definitely like it kind of messed me up for a couple days after that. I'm not gonna lie.
Imagine
and again after the premiere.
If you're up there with Chad Daniels, you guys definitely would have fought.
Yeah.
Have you seen that episode with him and William Montgomery got in a fight with him?
No, when the hell did that air? Because I keep hearing about it today, but
Was it 2 episodes ago?
It doesn't matter. It was a couple episodes ago. So I was thinking it would be the perfect storm if you were both up there.
But it wasn't a real fight.
Nah.
That guy was mad.
But he did get to see William Montgomery dressed, all painted in blue. That was pretty hilarious.
No, you're right. He was mad, but William was just being fucking dumb. Yeah. Just how he always is.
And William didn't say much during your episode. He really just was a visual comedy
he did this
for
the
that
whole time.
episode.
He was probably upset that he had to commit to that blue thing. For
Yeah.
so long.
He's uncomfortably looking over the whole time, just like.
yeah, he had a twinkle in his eye.
He did.
When I was up there, man, he just had this smirk on his face, and
I think he did.
Did he say anything to you at all? He didn't say
No,
much.
not-
That
as far
entire
as
episode, I was really like thrown back
Right,
by how he didn't say anything.
People on the interwebs were, suspecting he took some edibles or something that would make you silent. Other people were saying, "Oh, he's retiring from the show soon, so he's checked out, and that's why he's all, inside his own head." Well, no, he's still on the fucking show, as far as we all know. So
Still the headliner. Everyone else is kind of rotating except for him.
yeah, and
It'd be nice to get him to open the show. That'd be kind of a cool change of pace. But now they got to have him as the closer.
Yeah, so people stick around.
But let's get into your set a little bit. You had a really good joke.
Yeah.
The stepfather joke was really, really good. Everyone seemed to love it. You had a nice 60-second joke called the stepfather about, sitting on your own hand and smacking your kid. It feels like another parent's disciplining them. That was pretty good.
That's a good joke.
Classic stranger.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Tony didn't seem to appreciate how it's a recycled premise with a.
I didn't think that was
it.
true. Yeah, man. He said that, but I've never heard anyone on Kill Tony do a stranger joke. Anybody else?
I don't Kill Tony, but Jay Moore's got some classic stranger bits about.
But it's different though.
Exactly.
But it's different.
Yeah, he says it. A retarded stranger. That's how.
That's what I was talking to Kevin about earlier.
Yeah, because the first time I ever heard of a stranger was on a movie called Zach and Miri Make a Porno. Anyone seen this?
Oh, I fucking love that movie.
Yeah. So they allude to the strange. That's the first time I ever heard of the concept. But you twist it up a little bit and you smack a kid with your numb hand, and that's totally original to me, man.
Yeah, that's original enough. That's what I wasn't going to say that you stole from Jay Moore or anything.
Well, Kev, you heard it there first and not Chappelle?
That's the first time I ever heard of a stranger.
You heard it in Zach and Miri years after Chappelle?
Yeah, the guy who plays Jay from Jay and Silent Bob, his character says, I sit on my hand and I jerk off. It feels like someone else is doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. I love it.
You got big
Tracy
laughs.
Lords is in it too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. Underrated.
Jay's
But
hilarious in that. Just call him Jay.
Dude, through and through, it's fucking top to bottom a great flick.
And it's a great romance. They fall in love. Clean love.
That
with
keeps
a little
your
bit of
girlfriend.
sex.
That keeps your girlfriend interested. Just like I was
Clean
saying.
cut love.
That's the Ross and Rachel bullshit.
And while we're talking about movies, what are some of your early comedic influences? Some movies you might have loved growing up as a kid, like some comedy stuff. What influenced you?
Well, as far as comedy movies, fucking Ace Ventura, and Happy Gilmore, and Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Those were like early comedies I can remember like obsessing over. But we had Comedy Central, and if you were home from school during the daytime, there was jack shit on TV. So Comedy Central had stand up on, and my parents were into Carlin a little bit. We didn't have any like comedy albums. My parents had a lot of music records and vinyl and shit, but they didn't have any comedy records as far as I know.
Gotcha.
But so like the earliest stand up I saw, like somebody's special, would have been Carlin or Chris Rock, like Bring the Pain. I remember watching Bring the Pain in the hotel room with my family on vacation one night, and he's talking about getting his salad tossed, and my mom's like, should we turn the TV off? Like, nah.
Dude, I totally remember that. I like Bigger and Blacker probably a little bit better, but a good one. Bring the Pain is amazing.
I think Shoot the Messenger is fucking amazing. The one right before Obama got elected.
I don't remember that one.
I haven't
gotta
even
check
heard that one.
Yeah, I got to check that out.
That one's a composite of 3 different shows and on 3 different continents. He did like
I do remember that actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember that.
Yeah, because he
that's
changes
a fucking
suits and
beast
stuff.
of a special.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But so early influences were some of the greats like Norm Macdonald for sure.
Yes.
Yep.
Stand up or movies with Norm? Stand up or movies or both?
SNL.
Movies
Or-
too. Yeah,
Or TV.
SNL. Like I grew up during what a lot of people I think consider the golden era of SNL, which was the '90s with Farley and when Will Ferrell like jumped on, and Tim Meadows, Tracy Morgan.
I loved that era. That was my era. Molly Shannon and Sherry O'Terry and
early '90s, like Wayne's World, fucking Dana Carvey, Mike Myers, David Spade with Farley, and
Sandler.
Chris Rock was on too. Yeah,
You know Sandler has a new stand-up special dropping on Netflix this Tuesday night.
I heard about that. Yeah,
I can't wait to see that shit.
I'll watch that.
I'm surprised
wonder
he's
if
not
gonna
doing it live.
play the Hanukkah song.
He's got songs. I mean, his last special, which was
Hey.
2 years ago, was really, really
I was
good.
just about to say, did you guys like
I love that
phone,
special.
wallet, keys, or did you
Yes.
hate it?
I loved it. Loved it. It's so
I actually didn't
relatable. It's
fucking
so
see it.
relatable. Yeah, he's got another special called 100% Fresh. And it's literally one of my favorite stand-up specials of all time.
I don't know. If
I
I've
loved
seen
it. I fucking loved it.
I haven't seen it.
You got to check it
I'm gonna have
out.
to check it out. So is he doing a live broadcast like
Nah,
Rogan just did?
Not like Rogan did, because he actually talked about it with Rogan. He said he'd be terrified to do that. But it's a new special coming out this Tuesday night. I'll definitely be watching.
Did you like Rogan's special by chance?
So I didn't watch the whole thing.
So no.
into it halfway through. No, I caught. Okay, so from the middle on, and I didn't dislike it. I did fall asleep.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
yeah.
that happens.
Take
huh?
that for what it is. I also was borrowing someone else's Netflix account, so I didn't attempt to watch it again.
Yeah,
but I will.
But did you shower before you fall asleep? That's what everyone's wondering. Did you take a nice shower? Because how can you sleep without a 10-minute shower? You know?
God, dude, I'm typically one a day. Usually mornings is my showering time.
Hey,
Better than me.
Looking fresh and clean tonight, sir. Appreciate you
Tony's in
cleaning
there,
up for the show.
Tony's in there douching his asshole, so
Yeah.
takes a few extra tries.
I mean,
My
yeah.
one buddy, he's like, when Tony said, "I'm busy, motherfucker, MSG, fucking Monday nights, fucking doing shows, booking shows." My friend was like, "Yeah, you should have said, and you still found time to suck all those dicks."
Yeah, dude.
God, dude, hindsight is such a bitch.
I
Yeah.
did like how Tony said that he was like, I take a shower and then I get ready for work, and he was going to work.
You say he does a cold plunge and then takes a shower. What sense does that make, man?
I like how he said he was getting ready for work though. When he was
He
going
goes to work.
to
It's
the
work
show.
to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, that's a good way to think about it.
Well, that's also rich people mentality.
I guess. Yeah.
Oh, nice. This guy's ripping some glass. I love it. He's a man after our own heart.
Oh well, you should cheers Tim to that. I can't.
Yeah, clink your bong on your camera screen.
I took one. I took one too many. Clinky, clinky.
There we go.
Dinky, dinky.
Happy birthday.
Hey, man, a couple stoners. 4 stoners.
A few. No, what's more than a few, but less than several?
I don't know. Drop me your PO box, dude. I'll send you a slide for that.
Oh yeah,
bong.
this man makes glass. He can put a slide in that 14 millimeter bong. Maybe it's 18. Who knows?
Yeah, Jack's our resident glass blower. So if you need anything, hit up Armstrong Glass Art on Instagram and other
Close.
platforms.
Armstrong Art Glass.
Oh, shit, my bad.
Close enough.
And so you sound just like Dan Soder, a lot of people say. What do you think about that?
I think he has a deeper voice than me, but I don't know. People said like Dr. Evil on meth and Buffalo Bill.
Well, you're
You just
funnier
have
than
a-
Dan Soder, so that's good.
You sound like Dr. Evil after taking a whippet.
I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think it's just a strong voice.
You sound like Dan Soder, man. It's awesome. I think it's great.
Do you? I don't know him that much because I don't pay attention. Is he a comedian?
He
guy?
really sounds just like Dan Soder. I mean, not just, like 80% like Dan Soder.
Mike's showing his
Soder's
ass right
good
now.
too. I like Soder, so
Yeah.
I'll take it as a.
And Tony was trying to figure it out the entire interview. He was like, "You sound like somebody." He never figured it out, but someone in the Kill Tony Facebook group brought it to my attention and a lot of other people's attention. And yeah, you sound like Soder.
Well, do you sing?
So many people have said it. Do I sing?
Yeah, because I bet you could.
So I did at one point, and then my band went prog instrumental, and then I
Damn.
stopped singing.
Don't you hate that?
So like,
What the fuck? Every prog instrumental band I ever heard, I wish I had vocals.
So every song is like 7 minutes now.
yeah, that if you wanted to average it out, 7 to 8, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
I remember.
not into it.
Yeah, I literally I can't think of a band the exact name, but there was bands that had vocalists drop out that I was like Tides of Man was one because Tillian left for Dance Gavin Dance, but then they were just instrumental, writing great music that needed vocals so goddamn badly because they weren't 7-minute songs. I'm just tirading about Tides of Man right
Mike
now.
wants to sing along while he's driving to work.
But Tides of Man was writing 3.5, 4-minute songs, and it's like, okay, where's the vocalist? Because that's not gonna work. If you're gonna do some shit with no vocals, make it crazier and make it longer, and don't make it seem like it needs the vocals. Okay, I'm done.
How many? How often are you working with your buddy that you went to Kill 20 with the first time?
Jonathan Hamill.
Well, we were like hitting mics together, and we took the trip to Austin together. So we were, you know, attached at the hip for about 9 days, just hitting open mics and
That was enough
trying
for
to
you.
trying to network and meet with people. No, but like we did one show. Excuse me. Right after we got back, there was the roast of John Hamill. We did that in Cincinnati, and it popped off pretty well. And so, well, I guess I'll get into it then.
Yes.
I kind of stayed at the bar where John hosts his events. So before it was an open mic with a roast battle at the end of the show, and then for this last one, we made it the roast of Jonathan, and it timed it right after. It was a week after our Kill Tony episode premiered, so we hyped the fuck out of it using that, and we got like 12 other local comics to come in and roast him. We actually got Layla Ingalls from Dayton to come down and roast him.
Oh, so he killed
And,
himself.
What's that?
Oh, so he killed himself after the roast. Is that what you're getting at?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay, sorry. Go on, go on.
it popped off. It popped off great, and now we've not we. He has changed the format to just be a monthly roast show of a comic, and they did one last night,
I saw the flyer.
Uh,
Yeah, I saw the flyer.
and I was not in attendance.
Are you in Cincinnati right now?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
yeah,
Go Bengals.
but oh man, fuck the Bengals.
yeah, fuck the Bengals.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you like, we like, dude.
Dude, the
Kevin,
Bengals
no.
have sucked since '89, and my parents wouldn't let me play football. Either I wasn't tough enough, or we were just too poor to afford the equipment. So I hate football, just in general, all around. I hate football people. It's
Then what's your
No
hat say?
offense
What's
to-
your hat? It's got to be a sports hat. What's the hat say right now?
it says lifted,
Okay, not a sports hat. Cool.
not a sports hat. There's not a sports piece of nothing in this room right now.
I
see
like
Primus.
the Primus.
Yeah.
I like that you like Tool. See the No Effects. What is the one above the No Effects? Because I can't read that crazy Russian.
That one,
Yeah.
that's the Mars Volta.
Oh, dude, hell yeah!
Wow. Yeah.
I remember
Have
one
you ever
time
seen their reviews before?
it was like the second girl that took my virginity. I'm not gonna let you take this story from me. The second girl that took my virginity made me listen to Mars Volta all night while she fucked on me,
Damn.
and
That's
it
kinda
sticks
hot.
with me to this
That's a
day.
freaky sex right there.
Well, Pitchfork
wasn't.
gives all the Mars Volta albums like 4s out of 10. They must have like really fucked one of
What?
their girlfriends or something. I just always think that's funny.
Yeah, I have heard of that. Troy was just telling me about
Yeah,
that.
me and Troy were talking about the other day.
What was the new band he did? We can't do the music thing. I'll talk about that shit all night.
So I had a question about your set with Kill Tony. You said that you had
Yeah.
a child who was off grid for 2 years, and I find that super fascinating because me and my wife always joke we're gonna have an illegal baby. We're just gonna have a baby, tell nobody until it's like 18, and then just release it into the
Man,
world.
you've met the perfect woman, dude. That's so funny.
So like, what did you really have a baby who was off grid for like 2 years? Is that true?
Legally off grid, yeah. We were not living in a cabin in the woods type shit.
Yeah. I don't mean that, but
What?
like it had no paperwork. Like there was no social security number, which is now stolen, by the way.
Yeah.
From
He
who?
was so like I think we had to get him a social security number to enroll him in school. And
Was there any complications with that, or I guess that was the main complication, getting him into school?
yeah, that and like getting vaccinated and shit. We were anti-vax before it was cool.
Yeah.
So
and you mean
this was-
anti-COVID vax or anti all the vaccinations that a baby would get?
all.
Anti all the vax because yeah, we thought we were smarter than fucking doctors in 2009 or whatever.
So you got your mind changed on that, or are you still kind of anti? Because I'm kind of on the fence.
Oh,
like,
dude, Kevin's conspiracy boy.
yeah, I feel like a baby don't need 23 shots on its first day of life. You know?
I mean, man.
No, and when my daughter was born,
I agree. Good point.
we went slowly with the vaccines on her. We definitely I don't think we got her any shots the night she was born. but we definitely staggered in her vaccinations as far as all that goes.
Sounds smart. That sounds smart to me, man. Like maybe like 2 every single time she goes or something. I really don't know how it works. I'm pretty ignorant with it, but the whole thing kind of scares me. And I think I'm going to do what you did. I'm going to have an off-the-grid baby for about a couple years.
That's funny how that was liberal 16 years ago, and now it's the other way now.
That is funny. That is funny.
Yeah, it's crazy because that just shows how it's all just.
You know, I voted for Obama at the time, but we didn't identify
What the
either
fuck?
way with either party at the time. I knew that, you know, I grew up during Clinton, and then my dad was a staunch Republican through like 2 terms of Clinton. So I like grew up as a Republican, just not knowing what the fuck that even meant. But after going through Bush and 9/11, and then I became the conspiracy nut. Like, I don't know. My dad used to be down in the basement, like looking at like all the Vince Foster like Clinton murders and shit when I was like
Hell yeah.
12.
That's awesome.
So I mean,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
That's a twist of the tables right there.
That really happened,
But then-
though, you know? That really
but
be
then-
happening.
Yeah, I mean,
Bush
yeah,
gets into
happened.
office, and then 9/11 happens, and I'm like, Dad, like you should check out like what happened with Cheney and like this missing money, and like why is all this shit happening? And he's like, there's no conspiracies. I'm like,
He's like, they
"What?
hate our freedom.
What about the other conspiracies against your other party? Didn't those were conspiracies, right? I don't know, but
Right.
Hey, there was what, $1 billion missing from the Pentagon, and then the exact office gets hit by a plane. You know what I mean? There's some weird stuff that happened around that.
Yeah, big old jet plane with Osama.
see, that's the problem. That's the problem. You said how much? $1 billion?
Is that what it was? It's also long ago now.
2 trillion.
2 trillion.
man.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Way more than that.
And that's the problem is million, billion, and trillion rhyme.
yeah.
A human brain can't go past 1 million.
You might as well say a jillion. Yeah, you really should.
Put 1 million of anything here, and then put another million next to it. 2 fucking million. Our brains can't even get past the first million. So when you talk millions, trillions, billions of dollars, the human mind, the average piece of shit like me and you guys, no offense,
No, I'm with.
we cannot comprehend like that level of cash. Two fucking trillion went missing from the Pentagon, and then it got hit
Yeah,
by something.
I saw something not too long
That's
ago.
wild.
I forget exactly what it said, but
And
it
the
said
2 towers
it
covered
said
it
a
up.
million seconds is like a million seconds is like a week or something, and a trillion seconds is like 100 years or something like
your
that.
lifetime. Yeah.
Put that in
Yeah.
money terms, and now look at who's got the biggest mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye.
Barack Obama.
This is great. I came to talk about Kill Tony, and we're fucking
Yeah.
going off the rails. Yep. Because I'm on a fucking strawberry Starburst C4 as well. You guys were talking about that
No
earlier.
way. Very
Yes,
cool.
They're delicious.
It's a
Well,
performance enhancing
I'm
drug.
addicted to them shits.
They're too good, dude.
Just call you Drew Nickens. Am I right?
I don't like that much of a variety.
Yeah.
This strawberry Starburst C4, get the fuck out.
That's a good drink. That's a good
We
beverage.
normally ask about like behind the scenes stuff, but you were pulled from the audience both times. So, like any front of the house stuff that's annoying is it really annoying to go through like the facial recognition thing and put your phone in a bag? Because I went to the Vulcan a bunch of times, and putting the phone in the bag was less of an annoyance than you would think. But I've heard that the mothership is even a little more security heavy.
So I've been in there 3 times now, and as far as facial recognition shit, I didn't see nothing.
I think it's hidden
So-
behind a double sided mirror here.
I mean,
I'm
it
just
wouldn't
kidding. I don't know if
surprise
that's- I don't know
me.
if that's true, but I've heard that that they have some sort of technology going on in there with the scanning.
I mean, wouldn't shock me. Rogan's got that kind of money,
Absolutely.
and Jamie and Red Band are nerds enough to figure out how to make it work. So
If they could, they would, and why wouldn't they?
Maybe that's just what they call a red bar rumor. We watched this. You ever heard of red bar?
yeah, and I'm being told now that that's all satire. And
Yeah.
So apparently I didn't get the fucking memo because I thought he was just a pathetic fucking loser.
Yeah.
I hated him the
Like-
first time I saw him too, but he's literally my favorite podcaster. I love Red Bar, man.
Yeah, we go
So
crazy
does he
when
talk
was on.
about shit other than Kill Tony?
He goes live for 10 hours and talks about every podcast. Not every one, but tons of podcasts.
Yeah,
He's really
and
good.
movies he's seen.
Yeah.
It's not all about comedy, but it does lean heavily into that. Heavily.
Well, he's been in the biz for a while.
And because and honestly, it tends to the comedians are the people that he gets the biggest rise out of.
Yeah.
So it's easy.
He's pretty awesome.
Interesting.
You should check out a full episode next time he goes live for free, because every other episode is a free episode. It's pretty damn good. And I feel
I'll give it a chance.
give it a shot, man. He's really good.
I'm the one here that doesn't watch him and stuff. But sometimes he's pretty funny. But sometimes you get like, you gotta remember it's that satire. Is it really though? Because sometimes I'm like, boy, oh boy, he doesn't seem like he actually is being satirical. It seems like he hates. Like he's hate.
Well, he called out Joey Diaz in a very, very funny way, and he called out Sam
Joey.
Tripoli in a very, very funny way. So
Joey
maybe
Diaz.
you could search those up and get yourself started on that foot, because it's pretty good. And something else from your episode that I was fascinated by is Gary Falcon kind of dipped out right before you went on. Did you see any of Gary Falcon, like maybe before the show or after the show, walking around Austin, who, of course, is Nick Swartzen?
No, we didn't bump into him. I got to meet Drew Nickens for like 3 seconds outside, and he was with Ivory Jones, if you know who he is.
I don't think so.
He was on Kill Tony back in February, I believe. He rapped. He breeds reptiles.
That's ringing a bell.
it's
I
ringing a bell.
remember that.
Maybe we'll hit him up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm actually I just went with him to the Gathering of the Juggalos, and he got to open for Big J Okerson in the comedy tent, and I was hired to chauffeur him to and from the airport and film his set, which is on my YouTube channel.
Did he pay
if
you
you'd
in
like to check it
Fago?
out. They paid me in a ticket to the Gathering of the Juggalos.
That seems like a cool event. Did you camp?
No, he ended up buying us a hotel at the last minute, and that was
that's
super
way
clutch.
better. Yes.
I've gone to festivals for 20 years this summer, and I've never had a hotel. Always camped, and having the shower alone was worth it.
Yeah.
So
We used to be festival people over here.
But having the festival in your backyard is a little bit of an L. I like taking the L when you go back to the hotel. It's actually like 40 to 20 minutes, depending.
oh yeah.
it was 12 minutes,
That's
and
not bad.
I'm not drinking at the moment, so it wasn't really an issue for us. He doesn't drink either, so
Oh, nice.
You just jetted him
So
out.
you did have a ton of Fago.
yeah.
I like Fago.
So,
I like the red,
so
white,
what
and blue.
happens at the Gathering of the Juggalos? They have a big concert, and what do they call it? The Insane Clown Posse headlines it. Is that what goes on?
Yeah, it's their festival. The Juggalos are the subculture that's formed around them and their music. And I was a fan of theirs from like 9th to 11th grade. And in my opinion, they haven't made the best music ever, but they definitely haven't made anything notable.
What's
in
their biggest song?
20 years.
What's their biggest song? Because I am very fascinated how famous and popular they are.
Anything
Like
that-
2000s? He'll tell you.
Yeah, what's their biggest song?
They never had a hit. So
That is
another
crazy.
another
That's why I
love
like it.
song that went on the radio in like 99, I think, but that like barely got play. Because the label was like trying to push it. But the Magnet song that like went
Yeah.
viral because it has such a dumb line in it.
Yep.
Like fucking magnets, how do they work? Like I had fallen off with them way before that song came out.
Everyone
they
knows
kinda
that, right? Y'all know that.
Yeah.
I can't think of any of their music at all.
Well, the magnets.
Well, I've seen that meme.
They had like a
Magnets, how
song
do they
about the
work?
wonders of life and how
Yeah.
it was like a positive song, and then there's just a line about magnets, how do they work. I mean, it's Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah.
Magnets, bro,
And-
magnets, yo.
And who's the guy who actually went on Kill Tony and had what I think was one of the worst sets ever?
Oh yeah, it was Violent.
Oh, Violent J.
Yeah, Violent J went up there and ate it, in my opinion.
I
Damn.
mean, he's not a comedian.
Yeah, but he's not a comedian, but still, he ate it.
Well, that's
Yeah, it was interesting how that played out. But as an old fan, I kind of geeked the fuck out when he just randomly came on the show. Like,
I liked him as a
was-
person, but he was not funny.
Was Tony nice to him, or was he like
yeah.
telling
Tony
the
said he
crowd to chill out and stuff?
Tony said he did great.
Yeah, Tony is such a bitch when it comes to his celebrity friends. Like
course.
he will not keep it 100. You know
He's
what I'm
got
saying?
dollar signs in his eyes like a Looney Tunes character, dude.
Yeah.
That guy's a fucking cuck. It's fine.
Jay
funny.
went on Your Mom's House or in a couple other podcasts
Oh, damn.
after he was on Kill Tony, and he said that he had no fucking idea that he was going to get up there and do a minute. Like he thought he was going to be a guest on the show on the panel,
damn.
and then at the last minute, they're like, "You're going to get up and do a minute of comedy," and he's like, or what was it? He said he had something planned, and then he abandoned it, and then tried to wing it, and that's what we got.
Well, then
is
he
him
got
winging it.
screwed because he would have been a much better panel member. He
Yeah.
would have crushed it as a panel member.
In makeup, that'd be great.
Well, he also did the biggest fuck up ever because he had the black stuff around his mouth. He put his microphone all up around his face, rubbed his makeup all over the microphone. Then the next guy comes up, puts his lips on the microphone.
You're right, and they're trying to figure out why his face was
And
blue.
they just kept asking the guy, "Why is your face blue? Why is your face blue?" And the guy's like, "I don't know why my face is blue."
I must have
was
had a
great.
drink with a
Tony,
blue
yeah, Tony was
Hawaiian
like,
or
"Was the
something.
blue you're drinking blue?" What? He was screaming at him.
You're right.
he
Why
gets
is-
so mad
and
about
no one
shit.
could figure out that it was the guy before him that was wearing ridiculous face makeup.
That's so
I
funny you
think
bring that up.
didn't like the internet figure that out a
Yeah.
day later.
Yeah,
like
everyone
that's
at
why
home
that
figured it.
happened.
Yeah, that's so good.
But it was crazy.
That was that dude was on my second episode. He did the second drum battle.
Oh, really?
James Brody. I gotta look him up because I'll shout
Wait, is
him
this
out.
the blue lips guy?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Damn.
awesome.
Where the hell is it? We follow each other on Instagram. I'm trying to. I want to say it's James Brody.
We should get him on the show.
Yeah, we should definitely. And that's so funny you brought that up though, because it seems like everyone at home figured that out, but nobody live could figure that out. Because me and my wife were watching, we're like, "It's the Insane Clown Posse guy. He did it. He did it." And
Yeah.
we're all yelling at the TV screen, but they could not figure it out live.
Yeah, why could? That's weird.
And Tony can't ever hear anything. They need an earpiece.
But we don't know how it actually is there live. But he should have an in-ear monitor. You're right. He should.
I always thought he had one, but
If he was
maybe
smart,
I'm
he did.
wrong.
Red Band, he's cheaping out.
They
you know?
still do it like pretty ghetto the way they record it with through Red Band's little board.
Yeah,
into
which
the
is
main
kind of the
board.
beauty of it though. At the same time,
Yeah, they have to have it that way for Red Band's. Well, it's the easiest way to.
His
have Red
sound effects
Bands.
are so loud, insane loud.
but I don't like getting critical of Red Band because I am a podcast producer myself, and I know how hard it can be. And he's awesome. He's one of the goats. JRE and Kill Tony. That's crazy.
Yeah.
For one man.
Very good.
yeah, he's man. He changed a lot. He's really responsible for like fuck what we're doing right now. If you think
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah, the biggest
wouldn't-
podcast ever. Biggest comedy podcasts ever.
yeah.
Respect.
Mad props to Red Band. Call me for a titty fuck.
That was a funny moment that really bombed, but hey, it was funny though.
Yeah, I was.
Because
I think
I
for-
personally don't know the person you were talking about in that moment. You said you had someone on your podcast. Who was that person?
So okay, so that it was Layla Ingalls. So she had been bucket pulled, and then Red Band like creeped on her
Okay.
during their interview, and so I reached out before we went to Austin the first time, and because I told myself if I get pulled out of this bucket, I needed to start having content. So I hit her up to do a podcast. She came down here and we talked for about 2 hours and it was great. And then somehow my audio dropped out midway through and I didn't fucking realize it till we were like rapping. So,
Oh man.
which sucked, but she agreed to come down and roast my buddy. So I booked her for a gig like 2 months later. Fast forward, me and John go to Austin, get bucket pulled, come back, and then we have a roast show. She was supposed to come over here, finish the podcast, and then we didn't know if we had enough material for this roast. We both weren't prepared, and I said, look, you want to say fuck the podcast? Let's just work on jokes. And so we just did that, went to the roast show, and it popped off. And then I drove 17 hours to Austin and
Yo.
barely slept.
Did you have a ticket before you went?
Yeah, so yeah, well, the show we got bucket pulled, Jonathan got bucket pulled, was the last of that block of shows, and then tickets went on sale the next morning, and
Right.
I was like, well, I have to fucking come back. So, uh, yeah, I tried to get Jonathan to come. He just couldn't financially justify it.
I don't blame
So,
him. That's a pretty heavy commitment.
Yeah, you're really committed, man.
Yeah, that's a crazy commitment.
So
man.
you're always driving from Cincinnati to Austin, Texas when you do these shows?
Well, we went down the first time and we flew,
Okay.
and
okay.
But driving 17 hours all the way from Cincinnati to Austin, man, I love it. You really, really want to do this.
well, yeah, it was. I thought it wasn't going to happen for the second time.
You can be honest with us, man. What happened? You drove 17 hours. You got pulled a second
Oh no,
time.
I just
Yeah, who'd you
Up
blow? Who'd you blow,
until-
bro? You got up there 2 times in 4 weeks, man.
You just
How
happened
does
to
that
get
happen?
pulled a second time. That is so crazy.
well, technically, like I only got pulled once.
Oh, that's true.
Good point. Yeah, good point.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure Red Band recognized me. I was in the front row with
Right.
Sunshine Sullivan. You guys know her from she got bucket pulled maybe 6 months ago. She's the hippie that was all said she
Yes.
dressed like she operates a tilt-a-whirl.
Oh, yeah, I do
Yes.
remember that. I
Yes.
do remember that.
That's so
She
funny.
smells
You were,
like
you were sitting
patchouli.
with her?
Yeah, so me and Jonathan, I met her the first time we went down to Austin. We were at an open mic and I looked over and she was sitting right fucking next to me. I'm like, dude, you were on Kill Tony. I know you.
Eh,
And as an ex-hippie myself, me and her got along swell.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so we stayed in touch, and in exchange for her letting me crash at her and her boyfriend's place in their spare bedroom,
Hell
I
yeah.
gave her another ticket to Kill Tony, and we
Oh my
both
god,
went.
this is awesome. That's some Kill Tony.
So what do you think? Do you think it's
Lore.
truly random names out of a hat? Because we had Ben Grell on last week, and he got pulled 2 times in 4 weeks as well. Do you think it's truly random, or they cherry pick the names that they recognize?
It's a tough call.
There's
Yeah.
something going on.
There's something going on.
I had this exact conversation with Sunshine. We should probably sit front row because I know they'll recognize you, and I know if I wear this hat, Red Band will recognize me.
And it works.
And I was like, all I said was, if they feel like fudging a bucket pull, our odds are significantly better if we show up at 5 p.m. and we're in the front of the line and we're in the front row.
Damn, it seemed to
So,
work. Yeah, do it again. Do it again.
I can't say that that's a strategy that will work. My episode had literally premiered like a week before then I got back on stage. I think that's how the timing worked, because our episode got bumped by the Trump
I think
Biden episode.
I think you're right, and that seemed to be ideal.
Yeah.
I wanted to time it that way by 2 weeks, but we got
Oh.
bumped by an episode. So yeah, I was
You're right.
right back on stage a week after our episode premiered.
Nice.
Uh,
And unfortunately, we don't have too much longer with you, because our first guest, who was supposed to be on first, now he's hitting us up to try to come on.
yeah,
But,
but which guy is that?
Have you ever heard of this guy?
You're gonna hate him.
Have you ever heard of him? His name is Neil Pop, and he got banned like back in like 2009 because he was hating
19,
on
19.
2019. My bad, because he was hating on
5
Dane
years
Cook
ago.
and the whole panel so hard.
Okay, so he's not the dude that claims his whole minute got wiped, right?
That's a different guy, I think. But
Okay.
his minute did get wiped, but somebody uploaded it to YouTube, and it's like infamous now. He was like, "Hey man, I thought you 3 fags were supposed to be funny," and like he was like, "Dane Cook dates a 20-year-old. I'm 20. I don't even date 20-year-olds," and like they just hated this guy so much.
He was
Wow.
not bad. He wasn't terrible.
And I think
Was it a Vulcan show or was it back in LA?
I think
Comedy
it was
Store.
L.A. Yeah, I think it was L.A.
Comedy Store.
Okay.
yeah.
So I have watched a ton of episodes, but they all just kind of blur together at
Well,
this
yeah,
point.
they cut him out of the episode. They
Yeah.
did cut him out of
Oh.
the episode.
They literally kick him out of the building. They're like, "Security, show that guy the sidewalk," and the whole crowd like cheers. We're about to get into it with him in a little bit, but I do got a few more questions for you. But I just want to
Yeah.
I wish we had
Shoot.
more time because you're definitely cool, man. I appreciate you, spending time with us. But so you and Jonathan both get pulled on your first time at Kill Tony. How hard did you guys party that night? Because I already asked Jonathan this question, but I wanted to ask you this question. Like, you all got drunk as fuck that night, right?
Actually, no, not as fuck. So, we didn't drink leading up to getting on the stage, which I was happy about because we drank
Smart.
every night in Austin except that night.
Disciplined and
And-
smart. Very good.
I felt like we were both at least pretty swell on our game with our delivery, on stage during our minute. So I was happy to not be drinking earlier in the evening. So we didn't really stay out late, and I think Jonathan was kind of beating himself up, and we bought some drinks at the gas station and. Well, okay, so actually we went to Shakespeare's and probably tried to get on the open mic. We ran into Sunshine, and then we went to Creek in the Cave and tried to get onto an open mic. Then we actually met Ben Grell at the
No way.
Creek in the Cave. Yeah, and we got to bullshitting with him because he got up on our episode. So we introduced ourselves and because he got pulled from across the street, so he didn't know who we were. So we introduced ourselves, and he mentioned he was an Uber driver.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Can you give us a ride back to our Airbnb?" And he was like, "Hell, fuck yeah!" So we got in the car with him and rode back to our spot we were staying at.
dude?
He thinks that everything that Ben Grell's ever said is a lie. That's what Jack thinks. He thinks he's a total phony.
There's so many crazy stories with this guy. This is insane.
I mean, Ben Grell is the real deal, right? He's no phony, right?
I mean, he held a conversation exactly the way he did that interview that night, and I need to rewatch his second bucket pull, and I need to watch your guys' interview with him.
Please
'cause,
do. He definitely dropped some gems on that. He has lived a fucking life, dude. Like,
Oh,
wow.
I bet, dude.
So well that Jack thinks he might be lying.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think he's got a good
So-
guy photoshopping some pictures of him with Hillary Clinton and stuff.
No, so short story long, we didn't party too hard. We Ben dropped us off at the Airbnb. We said our goodbyes, and then we had maybe 2 or 3 tall boys apiece, and we just talked for probably a good 2 hours about what the fuck just happened to us, you know.
Wild.
And
Those are the best things.
my adrenaline was through the fucking roof, dude. So
I can only imagine.
and he was, not too happy about it, but
Oh, that sucks.
I kept telling him either way, we came here and did what we set out to do. We spent 9 days leading up to that, hitting open mics and meeting people and networking, and a lot of the comics we met showed us a lot of love while we were there. So even if we hadn't gotten up that night, it was a worthwhile trip that we took. So
Yeah, it seemed like Jonathan would probably be kind of hard on himself, and you kind of helped him out with that. That's good. That's good, man. You are a good friend.
like I said, I'd try. But after rewatching my interview on the second episode, I really was beating myself up about it. I didn't like how it played out.
It was a tough one, man. Like, he was being too hard on you, but he did give you some good advice, and I was wondering if you took that advice at the end.
I really wanted to say he does not get like that with a lot of people and believe in them he sounded like at the end.
Like, he told you got to make it more personal.
He doesn't spend time with people like that.
Yeah.
He normally says, "Get the fuck out of here. We're moving on to the next guy." He
Yep.
seemed like he saw something in you that where he spent enough time or spent like it deserved time.
And have you
to say
applied that advice? Have you made your sets more personal? Have you looked deep into your life in the past and then kind of made some material out of it?
Yeah, and I've taken that advice to heart, really. Roseanne said pretty much the same shit to Uncle Laser, if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Because he told some joke about roller and flour and aim for the wet spot type shit, and Roseanne wasn't having it, and she told him the same thing, pull from within, talk about yourself, make it personal. That's what the people relate to.
Well, that guy's hopeless. You're not. So let's
Yeah.
let's.
I mean, dude, that was a sentimental ass moment too. That was a tearjerker of a segment of an episode when she said that to him. So
Yeah.
if you ever watch
you guys, you're
if you ever watch the
Sorry, go
Christina
ahead.
P episode, there's an episode with Christina Przitsky on, and she thinks that's the whole point of the show because she was only watched like the old episodes, and she gives everyone advice at the end, and it's pretty nice. And I think
Warm and
I think
cuddly.
that's cool because I think that was the original point of the show. Like if you watch like the really really old episodes, they give everyone heartfelt advice, and they're not just fucking mean to them.
Well, I think the point of the show is to laugh at disabled people. So if you were disabled, it would have gone a lot better.
That's the point of the show now. That's true.
Yeah, I missed that guy.
Yeah, Michael Lair.
Yeah, it was nice making fun of that guy.
And unfortunately, we got to move on to our next guest. Wish we had more time with it. Anything else you want to tell our fans? Maybe you got something you want to plug or anything you want to promote or anything at all?
Plug at the moment. I got a podcast with the co-defendants that I'm gonna be dropping soon. If you guys fuck with the co-defendants, Sam King, Chesky Ramos, Fat Records with Fat Mike on bass.
Nice. I'll be subscribing ASAP. What's it
Whoa,
called
that
exactly?
No Effects is Fat Mike's on bass.
Yeah, Fat Mike is the producer, plays bass on most of the records, and is pretty much the father figure to the band at this
That's
point.
really sick.
Fat
Co-defendants are
Records.
playing like every No Effects tour date at the moment, their final tour ever or whatever.
So what exactly is the podcast called? Because I want to subscribe ASAP.
I haven't dropped anything yet, so
Okay.
but it's called That's My Shit, and talk to people that do shit that I like. So like primarily I'm trying to get musicians and comics at the moment. So
Hey, if you're ever
Plug
hard
that.
up and need
That's
some
my shit.
podcasters, will come on.
Hey, we will come on if you want to, get us on there. But
if you
either
want
way,
to do a crossover, yeah, we could do that.
sure. And either way, definitely follow this guy, everybody, on Facebook and on Instagram. His name is...
It's Jason Elrod Sucks on all social media like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, Reddit, and YouTube. Same user tag. Jason Elrod, ELROD. Jason Elrod Sucks.
Nice, man. And hopefully you go on Kill Tony again because you got the lucky touch and you'll probably get pulled again. Just sit front row just like you did with another Kill Tony regular or, someone who's been up there before. And hopefully you'll get that pull again, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Show his Instagram for the people.
Oh, yeah. Mike's got your Instagram pulled up, so let's do that.
Bet. Appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks
dude.
for coming on. You're
We'll
great.
have you
Great.
back. We need to talk more.
Yeah, we'll definitely do this again. If you want to come back on, we'll definitely have you back on again.
Yeah, I'd
thanks
love
for-
to.
Yeah,
Awesome, bro. Well, appreciate it. You have a good rest of your night, all right?
Yeah, y'all do the same.
And hit
Later,
that follow button, Mike. Hit it live on the air.
Follow that man.
There we go. Jason Elrod, he's a class act, and we'll do it again soon, bro. Have a great night.
Y'all do the same. Peace.